Yeah. Good afternoon, boys. So we are back with our yes. After the end of the class, I will put it Sunday. Don't worry. And meanwhile, you keep on practicing the MCQs. That is most important, right? And ask Kadkol to join back. Kadkol left. Prasad is there.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Oh, Prasad. Today I think you had lunch.
Yes, sir.
That's why your voice is very, very dominant.
Yes, sir.
Good. That means Prasad should have lunch and come to the class. Prasad, I am at to have lunch. I'll speak in low voice. Okay? Where is Kadkol? I am just waiting for Kadkol to come back. Prasad, call him back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right. We were dealing with our favorite topic, HGP, Human Genome Project. And I said yesterday in our class, genome is bunch of genes, all the genes together present in our body. And since we are talking of our own, this project is appropriately named as HGP. And I said there are involvement of many countries in this project and a lot of money is involved. And luckily, India is one of the countries that contributed for this HGP. So this project way back in 1990 started phase 1, went up to 2003, and as I said, they have mapped, they have taken the photos of all the genes that are present in human body to the extent of 85 to 90%. Yes, Sandeep. Sandeep, who is? Vivek is unable to join? Okay.
App is hanging.
Okay, his app is hanging. Hold it, hold it. Sandeep, ask
Trying,
Vivek,
sir.
ask Vivek to hold it so that it will not hang. It happens, don't worry. Okay, let him hold it and come back. So, what is the aim of starting this project? Yesterday we said there are multiple aims. One is to identify all the genes that are present in human DNA. That is the first one. Roughly, it is estimated, Sandeep, around 10,000 genes in human body. So, to the tune of 85%, they have already mapped, they have taken the photos, analyzed it. So, remaining 15% still to be done. Second one, sequencing of 3 billion chemicals. Okay, chemical base pairs, that is nitrogenous base pairs of human DNA. And then once we got the data of that 84%, we are able to store that. And once we get the 100%, our intention is to store the data. In what way, Sandeep? Like if DNA, if nitrogenous base sequence is this, gene locus is this, particular gene is there, that particular gene is responsible for, let us say, human color. Particular gene is responsible for eye color. Particular gene is responsible for formation of genetic diseases like color blindness. So this is the data, and you keep on analyzing the data. Okay, that is another main aim of HGP. And then transfer related, yes,
Four nitrogen bases.
4 nitrogen bases at a place now,
Why?
but you have sequence. Locus is changing, position of the nitrogen bases in DNA is changing, all the 4 are not present in one place, and then their repetitions are at a different loci, that is the reason. Okay, so that presence of nitrogenous bases with the base pair sequence will make a gene, and that gene will form a particular protein. All of you know, we have discussed this in translation, right? Protein synthesis. And proteins are responsible for our characters. So this data they want to analyze. If gene locus is in particular place on DNA, what type of protein is synthesized? And that protein is responsible for what character? This is analysis, data analysis, right? Then transfer related technologies to other sectors like anatomy department, pathology department particularly. Right now, what is going on? All of us know. You want to analyze the health of an individual. We are doing blood test. We are going for CT scan. We are going for X-ray, isn't it? Blood analysis, urine analysis, like that. Now here, in future, it may not be that. There is no requirement of all this. What is required? Analyze the particular gene, particular locus on the DNA, particular protein synthesis, and that protein is responsible for the disease that is expressed. So, revert back. Now come to the reverse. A particular disease is existing because of the protein, and that protein is synthesized because of the gene locus. Change the gene. See, Sandeep, the future will be how easy it will be. There is no prick, no need to prick. And we may not be having medicines and tablets, capsules, all that. We may be having only gene therapy in future. So all of us will be healthy. That is the hope, best hope that all of us will have for future. So compared to our generation, Sandeep, your generation is very lucky. That's why Rakesh tells every day morning, Jai Jagannath. Isn't it, Rakesh?
Stop genetic disease.
Yeah, 100%. We can certainly eliminate all the genetic disorders. See, basically, we have talked about Mendelian disorders, chromosomal abnormalities, based on the mistake that is taking place in the DNA. No? Either the mistake is in the form of one nitrogenous base not present, which had point mutation, or both nitrogen bases in the form of pair missing, like A, T, both are missing. Adenine, thymine base pair only missing. Isn't it? And what is important is it forms the locus, particular position on the DNA. And then most important, last aim is ethical, address the ethical, legal and social issues, LC we said. See Sandeep, if you correct all the genes, say 10,000 genes in human body, all 10,000 genes are repaired, made perfect, what will happen? That person will be almost equivalent to God. No disease, no defect, no problem mentally, no problem physically, no problem anatomically. Then why Sandeep will go to temple? If there is a problem, then only Sandeep is going to temple. Hey Bhagwan, I will give coconut, give me this. Isn't it? Why Rakesh is telling Jai Jagannath? If gene therapy is done, everything that Rakesh wants, gets it, why he will think of it? And then, new disease may come, but we have got ready-made solution. New disease will happen because of, mutations. And mutations are because of the climate. One of the factors that affect mutation is the climate factors, isn't it? So that will be there for us, but we know the solution is right in front of us, whatever may be the problem. And the solution is gene therapy. Correct, no? So how to do it? What is the ethical issue? Yesterday I said, the question is every human being will be looking alike, very handsome, very beautiful, 6 feet height, 1 ton weight, like our Prasad. See, whatever you desire, it is there. You just do some, what Sandeep calls kitapati, with your genes, you get what you want. So, ethical issues will be there. Then, there may be some legal issues, isn't it? And of course, social issue will be there as such, because all the human beings, let's say in India only, 135 crores, all 135 crores look alike. Then who is Sandeep? Who is Vivek? Who is Prasad? Who is Rakesh Mohanty? Everybody is same. How to identify? Just imagine that situation. There will be no variety, no variations. Every human being in the world will be looking same. Funny, no? Yeah. Now, how to do this HGP? EST, expressed sequence tags. So, one way to do is EST, expressed sequence tags, focused on identifying all the genes that are expressed as RNA. This is one way. Then sequence annotation, sequencing whole set of genome containing all the coding and non-coding sequences and later assigning different regions in the sequence with functions. These are the two major approaches with which we can do HGP. Look at that. Exons are removed, introns are only kept. And all the information is stored in the form of RNA. Similar is the case here. All introns are joined together and they are expressive. Now comes the procedure in particular. First and foremost, isolate DNA from a cell. So how to do it? Vivek is there? Kadkol has come back? Prasad?
No, sir. He told that the app was not working, so he'll uninstall and install once again, sir.
Okay, right. Prasad, how to do this? Step number 1. Isolate DNA from a cell. Any idea?
No, sir.
No? Sandeep? Vallal Gowda? Harshad? Any idea? Remember some time back we studied how to extract.
I told him he is taking live class.
How to extract DNA. Remember, I will give you a clue. Hershey and Chase experiment. After that, McCarthy experiment. After that, remember, the scientists started using enzymes, proteinase, RNase, and then finally they have come to a conclusion that DNA is the only genetic material. So use the enzyme and dissolve all the things in the cell. Fats are dissolved, carbohydrates are dissolved, proteins are dissolved, RNA is dissolved. What is left out? Sandeep? DNA. That's all. That's how you isolate DNA, isn't it? Then convert into random fragments. So break the DNA into pieces, random fragments, and then clone in a host. So you require after they will not be there, no? We are extracting out, no? We will ensure that in the cell only DNA will be there. Or other ways, you can dissolve even the plasma membrane cell wall and only take DNA. You will be doing this test, experiment, when you come back to school in November. Isolation of DNA from plant material as well as animal material. Okay, Sandeep? We have got practicals. Experiment Sandeep will be doing individually in the month of November. Right? You will understand how to isolate. Sagar is waiting. Prajwal is also waiting. Okay. Is the room locked? Yes. Okay. So, step number 1 is isolation of DNA. And second one is convert into random fragments. And third one, clone in a host. So, you require a host cell for this. And we will be studying a lot about this in chapter number 11 and 12, biotechnology chapter, wherein we will have a host cells, bacterial cell and yeast cells, and we put these DNA fragments in that and make them clone, means repeated clonings, and using vectors for amplification. Amplification is increasing the numbers. Example, this BAC and YAC. BAC is bacteria related, YAC is yeast related. Okay, so this is for amplification. Once you get the amplification done, now step number 4, sequencing of fragments using automated DNA sequencers. This is what we call Frederick Sanger method. And then once the sequences are arranged, now we need to rearrange them. Arrange the sequences based on overlapping regions. And last, alignment of sequences using computer program. Okay. Now we'll talk about each step. So BAC, bacterial artificial chromosome. YAC, yeast artificial chromosome. Now these steps are there. You can see step number 1, isolation of DNA. Step number 2, converting them into random fragments. Then amplification using bacteria and yeast. Then feeding the data into computer, arranging the sequences in order, and thereby we will understand all the genes that are present in the organism, in an organism, right? All the genes we can put it in like NCC single file. Now the same thing here done, see. Let me expand this. Yes. He is taking liver, extract DNA, okay, from the liver, then prepare the genes, all that hundreds of millions of genomic DNA fragments on a surface, just like a chip. Then you got single fragment, genomic fragment, and use the repetitions. We say amplifications, make thousands of copies. Then from that, now make them in an order, that's called sequencing. And this is all done by the machines. Look at that, use of technology. Through computer we will do it. And then feed all the data into computer, and we will be doing analysis. Which is good gene, which is bad gene, which is the gene that is defective, and how to rectify it. Is it okay? Now look at that. The same thing is done. So human being, Prasad, who is she? Yes, Sandeep? Human being, no? I thought Sandeep is having something else in his mind. So extract cell from that. Okay, Sandeep, from her you extract one cell. And then take the chromosome in that, identify. From that chromosome DNA. From the DNA, fragments of DNA. Fragments of DNA to amplification of DNA material. And feed the data into computer and analyze the data. This is what is done in HGP. So this gives us, the process requires a lot of technology help. Understood? Got that? And thanks to this man, this gentleman, Frederick Sanger, he has developed this method of sequencing amino acids in proteins. That is the great work, Once we know the sequencing of amino acids, we can play with the proteins. We want a particular protein, we can do it by changing the sequence of the amino acids. That is the greatness of this man. And DNA is converted to random fragments, as there are technical limitations in sequencing of long pieces of DNA. We can't analyze the lengthy pieces of DNA. Instead, what we are analyzing? We are analyzing the sequence of amino acids, right? HGP was closely associated with a very good science. I think in future you can also join this. You got some universities offering you post-graduation, MSc in bioinformatics. So all those who are interested in molecular biology, you can join this course. You will be, it's a different branch. Of course, it's a branch of biology, but it is basically deals with DNA, nucleic acids. Okay, that's why it is known as bioinformatics. This is the latest branch of biology. Some universities, selected universities, are offering this course. Okay, you can maybe in India also. Yes, in India also. Even in South India, there are universities which are offering this. And I told you there is one institute in Hyderabad, CCMB, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology. That is a very good institution as far as DNA RNA research is concerned. So you can join even in CCMB. There will be entrance exam. You need to write the entrance exam, clear that, and join. Maybe, who knows, your professor may be a Nobel laureate. Under him you will be working. That is the greatness Kadkol. Kadkol is back, at least now. Sandeep? No. Yes.
sir.
Prasad, I think it is permanently hanging.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So what is bioinformatics? It's application of computer science and information technology in the field of DNA, particularly medicine related one, biology and medicine. Remember, I have been telling you, in future the medicine is only through gene therapy. A day is not far off where this liquids, capsules, tablets will be out totally. Prasad will get at the most gene powder. He has to consume gene powder, that's all. Okay, Prasad? So totally of the 24 chromosomes, 22 autosomes and XY. How it is 24? It should be 23, no? 22 autosomes, pairs and XY. Totally we have got 46. Yeah. Now here you can see difference. The last sequenced one is chromosome 1. Okay? Where when it is done, sequencing of chromosome 1, May 2006 it is done. So genetic and physical maps on the genome were generated using information on polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Poly means many, morphism means the physical appearances. So if an organism expresses different forms, then we say polymorphism. Okay? And there is an enzyme called restriction endonuclease and the recognition sites. I think if I tell all this, you may not understand at present, because unless you understand, we enter into chapter 11, biotechnology, you may not understand this. At present, you just remember repeated DNA sequences. That much you understand. Microsatellites, that's all. Right? Once you understand that microsatellites, it's done. So DNA sequencing also have been done in bacteria as well as yeast. Okay? So Drosophila plants, rice, in so many things it is done. How it is done? Let me expand this genetic mapping. Yes. Look at that. This is how they mapped the gene. Gene mapping, this is called. Means making the photo of it, that's all. So you can see the genetic map and then converted to physical map and then converted into DNA sequence, and this DNA sequences are fed into the computer. Okay? Now at present you just remember that it is basically HGP deals with the sequencing of amino acids. Okay? Because at present you may not understand all this. In chapter number 11 only you understand that. We will deal that. So what are the salient features? So far, what is the work that is done? Look at the great work. Human genome contains how many? 3164.7 million nucleotide bases. Nucleotide, remember? Total number of genes is about 30,000. I was telling around 10,000. See, now it has gone up. Average gene consists of 3,000 bases. Here, when we say bases, nitrogenous bases. But sizes vary. Largest known human genome is dystrophin on X chromosome, contains 2.4 million bases. Look at that. This is all because of the research that is under HGP. So much we have achieved, see, in that short span of time. Right. Further, 99.9% nucleotide bases are same in all people. Look at that, Sandeep. 99.9%. 0.1% only difference. Only 0.1%. How many in terms of base pairs? 3 into 10 to the power 6 base pairs. Only difference makes every individual unique. Look at that. Just 0.1% difference in the nitrogenous base pairs will be is creating so much of variations. So functions over 50% of discovered genes are unknown. Now this is the work that is to be done. We know only the functions of 50% of the genes. Rest of the 50% we don't know. So the question comes, why they are not able to express? Is there anything related with what we discussed yesterday, gene regulation? Is there something unknown that is controlling or not? So chromosome 1 has most genes, how many? 2,968. And as we expected, Y chromosome being very short has got just 231 genes. Less than 2% of the genome codes for proteins. This is again new one. Only 2% and less than 2% of the genome codes for proteins. Imagine, Sandeep, if every 100% codes, how many proteins we should add in our body. Very large portion of human genome is made up of repeated sequences. These are stretches of DNA sequences that are repeated many times. So they have no direct coding function. They shed light on chromosome structure and dynamic and evolution. Yes. About 1.4 million locations have single base DNA differences. They are called SNPs. That is single nucleotide polymorphism, or we say SNPs. This helps to find chromosomes, okay, locations, what we are telling, chromosome locations for disease associated sequences and tracing human history. That means, look at the results that we are getting of the HGP. It is helping us to know even the evolution from where we have evolved, which is the first living organism that has come. So through this DNA sequence, we'll come to know everything that is related. And as we proceed further, the moment this research gets completed, we'll be knowing right from not only chromosome 1 up to chromosome 46, okay, what are the genes that are present, how many genes are present, and then why only 50% of genes are expressing themselves and becoming functional, what about others, and if they are made to express, what are the new things, new traits that will appear in our body, isn't it? And if those traits appear in our body, will there be changes in our physiology, in our physique, okay? And if only 2% of the genome codes for proteins, can we make it 100%? Or what are the different proteins that are formed? See, these are all the variations. These are all the various questions that are still to be answered. Okay? Tomorrow's class, I think we will talk about another interesting topic, that is DNA fingerprinting. Okay? This we will talk tomorrow. This is very another interesting topic, wherein our biology is helping even the police department in nabbing the thieves, in catching the rapists. Unfortunately, India is getting very bad name at international level with the sequence of rapes that are taking place in every town. So maybe we being biologists, we can help to trace the culprits, and then even the parenting, like biological father, biological mother can be identified for a child. So many applications are there. It's again a very interesting topic. We'll discuss tomorrow, right? Until then, keep studying, take care.